I am so excited for this.
I'm so happy to be sitting down with you.
This is going to be fun. Okay, so this is not your first rodeo, but you just launched a whole nother business.
Yeah.
Tell us about your journey as an entrepreneur, as a founder, and then we'll talk about the new company.
Sure. I love to solve problems. I really do love the industry we're in, and I really wanted to stay within it, provided I could. And I knew I had one more in me, so I said, okay, if, I'm going to jump back in. I can't play the first time naive founder card of like, I didn't know it was going to be this hard. I knew how hard it was going to be. So I wanted to make sure we were solving a real problem. The solution was compelling. It was in a big market. And I feel like we found that, so I'm excited.
I think you found it too. Tell us about 100. What is 100?
Yeah.
What does it solve for?
Yeah, so 100 is creating an entirely new way to screen applicants, right? We want to remove bias, fraud, friction from the entire rental experience. And we believe the best way to do that is to flip the script, change it from the way we've always been doing it, right? So this idea of, we're introducing a few new kind of novel things. So the first of is really this idea of a pre-qualification process. So a renter can go through an experience, and in a few clicks, they know exactly what they're qualified for, like up to the amount. And then the second is, we're introducing this brand new partnership, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a second, but taking this global identity provider, Clear, keeping us safe in the skies, and bringing it down and leveraging all their amazing technology to make sure people are who they say they are. Then the third of which is really leveraging fintech underwriting, right? Things that have existed in other industries for years, bringing that into the industry and making it speak multifamily.
Go tactical for us.
Yeah.
So where do you insert this in like the workflows that the industry is used to?
Oh, yeah. So a big part of what we're trying to do is limit change management, right? So the workflow piece, we've spent a lot of time, and we'll continue to spend a lot of time with our customers, understanding their current workflows and making sure 100 fits inside of that.
Yeah.
Big part of what we're trying to do, we don't want to create just frictionless experiences for the renter. We need to make sure it's frictionless for the operator as well. So there's various sort of touch points where you'll start to see 100 come up to make sure, okay, we're screening this applicant. They are who they say they are. Great, we're coming back in. They make what they say they make. Background, a few different touch points before they ultimately click the magic button. And, like I said, they can apply now in minutes versus days.
Amazing. Let's talk about kind of the funding journey that you've been on. I just saw a big announcement recently that said that this was the largest pre-seed fundraise in PropTech ever.
I think so. I think in U.S. PropTech history, which we're really proud about. And, I feel like also, if I could just say, like in an industry where we also talk about how female entrepreneurs and female-led companies receive fewer venture dollars, it's something we're really proud.
Absolutely, and rightly so. Good for you. Okay, so given that this isn't your first rodeo, you've been through just about every pitfall of starting a new business.
Yes.
I think you formed possibly one of the coolest founding teams I've ever seen. Tell us about the founding team.
I'm really biased, but they're just the best. I feel like for everyone on this team, it's not our first rodeo, right? We've all seen the movie before. We all were fortunate enough to help grow or build and manage really successful companies in multifamily PropTech. So everyone's coming together saying, wow, that was fun. Let's do it again. So, we have folks from Knock, from Funnel, from the Guarantors, from SmartRent. And the funny thing, too, as you know, with Funnel and Knock, we have folks who we fiercely competed against. And it was like, man, Lucas is a great example, right? Lucas, our head of growth, fierce competitors.
Yeah.
And now coming together and saying this is such a big problem. We want to usher in a solution, and we want to do it together this go around.
Yeah.
So.
You made a big splash, like the branding, the kicks. You don't have the kicks on today. Oh,
I've got different kicks on.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about the F word. Here we go. Yep.
Tell us about some of the pitfalls that you made in the past, and some of the things you're going to try and avoid this time around.
Yeah, gosh, there's so many things. It's just like there's so many things where it's like you look back and you're like, man, I would have done that differently, right? So in some ways, this is it's like cathartic and healing in a way where it's like you can come across these experiences and say, man, I've been here before.
Yeah.
And now what do we want to do differently? What did we learn? I'd say generally, like the one thing that I always tried to keep front and center that I think we're repeating and replicating It's having amazing people,
Yeah.
right? Having amazing people, I think, helps you go a lot faster. I also think it helps smooth out some of the rough edges. When things do get bumpy, you can look back and say, this is the team. This is who I want to go into battle with. Sounds corny, but it's true. I'd say the other thing is just like really understanding and listening to customers and their problems early, and not being afraid to put something out there and iterate quickly and really build with the industry, right? Versus like, hey, here you go. Oh, wait, that doesn't work for you. Okay, you know, like we're really building this with and for multifamily. And I think it took us a little while, or at least at my kind of first go around as a founder, it took me a little while to get there and really understand, embrace that experience with your customers and build with versus for. So I'd say we're doing that pretty well this go around.
Of all people in this industry, I know this firsthand, you really have your finger on the pulse. How did you stumble into the problem statement that was fraud prevention?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's funny, I would always offer up, I have, bunch of friendly multifamily operators where whether I knew them from my past life or my past life, I said, listen, always just reach out to me. If you have a question about a particular problem or company, or you're just trying to understand a space better, I'm always happy to talk shop. And within a month, like a 30-day period, I received a bunch of pings from those people saying, Caren, do you know of any good collection agencies? And they were trying to solve for their debt problem.
Yep.
So that led me to just ask, well, why? What? Tell me more. And I kind of went down this rabbit hole a bit where it was like, oh, they're trying to solve their debt problem. And their debt problem is occurring from a couple of reasons: life event or some issue at the gate, right? So screening, fraud, and that led me to dig deeper and deeper. And then I went on a roadshow over the past year and I spoke to operators and I said, what are the top 2 or 3 things we're looking to solve for? It was fraud, it was debt, and then a magical third, insert here, and that would change company by company. So that gave me conviction of, okay, we're really solving a big, hairy, audacious problem.
I love it. Were there any other categories that you explored? Or I guess said another way, are there any areas where you think, or you stumbled upon that you think might be ripe for innovation, that you're seeing here potentially in the expo hall?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think we're still scratching the surface a bit on, the use cases for AI technology. I was, fortunate to be sitting in some of the opening pitches earlier, and I feel like we're really applying AI in new and interesting ways beyond just, forgive the pun, top of the funnel around leasing. We're actually looking at whether it's maintenance, we're looking at other solutions around how do we point AI in our space where we're saving time, we're adding value, we're not displacing the humans, we're augmenting their efforts beyond just the upfront tour or lease, which I think we all saw as part of the early innings of AI. So I'm excited to see where that goes. I feel like that's obviously been a hot topic of conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Finally, tell us your perspective on PropTech. This is probably I don't want to date you here, I'm going to say,
I already told you I'm the old lady.
I'm going to go low. Is it your 5th PropTech?
Let's go fast. Yes. Sure.
It's typically the first in the budget, right? It's so focused on real estate technology, so focused on innovation as well. Tell us just your perspective on this show.
It's our Super Bowl, right? I mean, whenever I'm advising a company, I say, okay, what's your plan for PropTech? And depending on how long they've been in the industry, some of them are like, okay. And some of them are like, wait, what's PropTech? And I'm like, okay, let's dig in on this, right? So when we thought about, we had a lot of, exciting things we were proud of, launching, partnership with Clear, the fundraise. We said, we've got to plan it around PropTech, right? It's the Super Bowl. So really excited to see where it goes. PropTech has and NMHC has a lot of exciting things planned, as we both know. And just excited, like I said, I still feel like we're in the early innings. I wouldn't be coming back for another company if I didn't feel like there was more of a way to go.
Caren, you are braver than I am. I don't know if I ever want to go 0 to 1 again.
I'm a masochist.
I'm in awe of what you're doing, in awe of the launch. Congratulations. Where can people learn about 100?
So they can go to Get100, that's get100.com. They can also reach out to me, Caren with a C, Caren, at get100.com.
Amazing. Caren, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.